Dear Society for New Americans Board Directors, thank you for this opportunity. You have allowed me to lead you through my training. I am Jean-Claude Uwihoreye. I am an employee at the Sparks of Hope Worldwide. Society for New Americans Worldwide is a non-profit organization that seeks to broaden access to education by donating bicycles to students who need them. My supervisor, Greg Gears, has tasked me to train employees at the Society for New Americans, and these employees will be from Sparks of Hope Worldwide. Before we go ahead and train your employees, I would like to read you through my handout and the general overview of the training we will be giving to the employees who will be working at the Society for New Americans. Without any delay, allow me to start. I will start with what is cultural competence. Cultural competence is a set of agreed behavior, attitudes, policies that come among professionals, and these policies enable these professionals to work effectively in a close cultural situation. Speaking of the three ways that culture impacts the communication between people, I can speak of how Americans can behave, how Africans can behave, how Asians can behave as far as communication is concerned. The behaviors are appropriate to one's particular culture, but the behaviors might be inappropriate to another depending on personal culture. But after everybody learns another person's culture, they will live in a conducive environment whereby everybody will be respecting the other person's culture. In the classroom, the US students do learn by asking questions. They put burning questions to their teachers, something appropriate to Americans. But when the Chinese students are inside the same classroom, they find this as a rude behavior. Chinese students are very quiet. And for them to feel comfortable, both Americans and the Chinese students, they need to accept everyone's understanding, everyone's particular cultural behaving. In China, when giving somebody a business card, you need to receive it with both hands. And you need to look at it before keeping it. Something which does not matter for Americans and Africans. You can receive it by either both hands or with one hand, and you can keep it right away, and you can look at it at a later time. For Americans, another important thing, it is a device to keep a large distance when speaking to one another. And you can never shake an American hand at the very beginning of acquaintance. You first of all need to introduce each other, then you go ahead and shake hands. For Africans and Asians, especially Chinese and Rwandan, the intimacy is proved through shaking hands, through keeping a smaller distance between yourselves. Dear Society for New Americans Board Directors, allow me to lead you through the three verbal and non-verbal cues that we should pay attention to at the entire life will live at the society for new Americans. For us to have a conducive environment where everybody feels comfortable, we'll have to pay attention to what we say depending on who we are speaking to. When speaking to an American, it is advised to look into their eyes. Directly look into their eyes. Something inappropriate for Africans and for Rwandans. For us, I am a Rwandan, I can never look into my father's eyes. That is a disrespect. I can do this twice or thrice in 10 minutes. Dear board directors, never get surprised to see an Indian shaking their head in agreement. While we know that Americans nod their heads, Africans nod their head when they agree. Be careful with body languages. Gestures. Tone. When body languages are used excessively, they can bring a different meaning, and the receiver can be confused of what we mean. Americans like expressing themselves through body languages. Rwandans have started adopting these new ways of living. Something Hispanic people might find different. Direct eye contact between people speaking to each other is used very less. This was said by Malaysia in 2011. Dear members of Directive Board, allow me to lead you through situations in which culture has played an important role in my relations with other people. I graduated from high school in 2013. For 6 years I spent at high school, I met different students from different countries. I studied with students from Burundi, from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, from Uganda, from Tanzania. Even our mother tongues were different. The only language that made us communicate easily was the language of instruction, French and English. We learned from one another. We started misunderstanding, but we ended up understanding one another. Another example I can give you is the one that I learned from College for America Project Resources. The people at the Society for New Americans are different from different countries. To mention Ghana, Vietnam, Guatemala, Canada, and Brazil. These people, although they don't know, of course they have been coexisting, although it is too difficult. What we need is to let this out and tell them that they are practicing living in peace, living comfortably with one another. Speaking of another example, thanks to social media, students from Iraq and students from America were connected. They shared experiences, shared backgrounds. The impact was positive. Students from America were hesitant. They blamed themselves to have caused problems to Iraqi students. Iraqi students used to consider all Americans as the people who brought Iraq to war. But after they interacted, thanks to social media, they shifted the blame from all Americans to only soldiers. And I am sure they not only shifted the blame from all the Americans to soldiers, and I believe that they do not blame all soldiers, because not all American soldiers were in Iraq. learning about cultural differences, discussing about individual differences, discussing about personal backgrounds, sharing particularities in cultures is an important thing that will bring conducive environment to the people of Society for New Americans. Dear members of Directive Board at the Society for New Americans, allow me to lead you through the last but not the least section of the reasons why developing and maintaining cross-cultural relations is a useful skill that will help employees and clients at the Society for New Americans. It is a useful skill to develop and maintain cross-cultural relations for a number of reasons. The employees and clients easily get to learn about different cultures. Introducing cross-cultural concepts to these employees and students will shape interpersonal relations and start blending very well socially. They will benefit from avoiding stereotypes. They will expand their base by building a broad cross-section of relationships such as gender, race, sexual orientation, country of origin, and people who think differently from them. We practice and they will be practicing loving and respecting others despite differences. These people with different cultural backgrounds will be enabled to establish trust as key to sustaining successful relationships. They will be confident to one another and trustworthy among themselves will persist. Conflicts will be reduced to the minimum. Peace at the Society for New Americans will likely be maintained thanks to settling down individual differences in a peaceful way by good understanding among the people, employees, students, and clients. They will be able to think of partnering with other non-profit international organizations that are built up to help disadvantaged people from misfortunate backgrounds. People at the Society for New Americans will be able to possibly run international businesses. That is freely done, and the globalization will very quickly emerge. There will be enough of opportunities. I assure you that there will be enough of opportunities by different people from different areas in the corners of the world. People will be notifying one another. There will be a good understanding, a good coexistence. Intermarriages between these people from different parts of the world will increase. This makes the entire world as one family, which is something to be happy about as differences disappear, but the values and customs are shared among ourselves. These are the benefits that the people at the Society for New Americans will benefit from. They are not limited to this. There is a large number of benefits that you will see coming to your organization. And we are very much determined to doing whatever we can to contribute to a good understanding as far as culture is concerned at your organization. Our employees at the Sparks of Hope Worldwide are very much interested in contributing to this cause. Thank you very much, board members of directors, for your time, for your attention, and for your considerate ideas. As I told you, I am Jean-Claude Wihore. You can have my contact information. Whoever needs to contact me after is free and welcome.